Welcome to Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm your host, Beatrix Kiddo, and it's February 6th, 2025. We've got a jam-packed show for you today, full of the latest and greatest in science, technology, and entertainment. First up, a study has found that air pollution may be making it harder for couples to conceive. We'll dive into the details and explore the potential implications for public health. Then, we'll take a closer look at the fascinating world of bird communication. New research has shed light on how birds of a feather really do talk together, and the findings are sure to surprise you. In tech news, ChatGPT, the AI-powered search engine, is now available to all users, even those without an account. We'll take a look at what this means for the future of search and how it could change the way we find information online. Moving on to entertainment, Disney Plus is in the hot seat today after losing 700,000 subscribers following a recent price increase. We'll explore what this means for the streaming giant and what it could mean for the future of streaming services. In political news, Elon Musk is making headlines once again, but this time it's not for his latest space venture. Some are accusing the tech billionaire of committing a coup in plain sight and putting the U.S. democracy at risk. We'll take a closer look at the situation and what it could mean for the future of American politics. And finally, we'll end on a lighter note with a look at the amazing ability of salamanders to control the blood flow in their toes to get around easily. This fascinating adaptation is sure to leave you amazed. So buckle up and get ready for another episode of Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. It's going to be a wild ride. Well, David, it looks like air pollution isn't just bad for our lungs. It might also be affecting our ability to have babies.
That's right, B. Researchers found that both maternal and paternal exposure to air pollution can negatively affect embryo development in IVF cycles.
And it's not just any air pollution, it's specifically organic carbon, which is a major element of fine particulate matter, PM2.5. That's the stuff that comes from combustion sources like vehicle exhaust and wildfires.
The researchers used samples from 500 anonymous oocyte donors and 915 male recipient partners who were all undergoing IVF between 2008 and 2019 at a fertility center outside of Atlanta. They found that ambient exposure to organic carbon consistently showed negative impacts on oocyte survival, fertilization, and embryo quality.
What's interesting is that the study evaluated the independent associations between maternal and paternal air pollution exposure during specific times when a female's ovaries are producing eggs and when a male's testicles are producing sperm.
That's right, B. And they found that both maternal and paternal air pollution exposures during these times have independent, largely detrimental effects on early embryological outcomes.
So, what can couples do to mitigate their exposure to air pollution if they're trying to conceive?
Well, the study's lead author, Audrey Gaskins, suggests that air pollution should be an important focus for those seeking to reproduce and conceive. She recommends that couples try to limit their exposure to air pollution as much as possible, especially during the times when the ovaries and testicles are producing eggs and sperm.
And it's not just couples trying to conceive who should be concerned about air pollution. It's a public health issue that affects us all.
That's right, B. Air pollution has been linked to a host of health problems, including respiratory issues, heart disease, and even premature death.
In our next story, reported by Avery Schuyler Nunn for Nautilus, migratory songbirds may be chatting with each other more than we thought as they fly through the night. Each fall, hundreds of millions of birds from dozens of species co-migrate, some of them making dangerous journeys across continents. Come spring, they return home. Scientists have long believed that these songbirds rely on instinct and experience alone to make the trek. But new research from a team of ornithologists at the University of Illinois suggests they may help one another out, even across species, through their nocturnal calls.
That's right, B. These birds are using their own version of a walkie-talkie to communicate with each other during their long journeys. Benjamin Van Doren, an ornithologist at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and a co-author of the study, says that the birds broadcast vocal pings into the sky, potentially sharing information about who they are and what lies ahead.
The researchers used ground-based microphones across 26 sites in eastern North America to record over 18,300 hours of nocturnal flight calls from 27 different species of birds. They used machine learning tools, including a customized version of Merlin, the Cornell Lab of Ornithology's bird call identification app, to process the enormous dataset of calls. The analysis revealed that birds of different species were flying in close proximity and calling to one another in repeated patterns that suggested a kind of code.
And get this, B. Flight proximity was closest between migrating songbird species that made similar calls in pitch and rhythm, traveled at similar speeds, and had similar wing shapes. While the exact nature of their communication remains unclear, researchers speculate that the calls could relay details about landing sites, weather conditions, or individual traits like age or sex.
Staying connected in this way might help the birds navigate more safely and effectively during the high-risk migration period to overcome challenges such as foggy conditions, inclement weather, or predator-rich landscapes. Van Doren says that sharing migratory intelligence may be especially important for younger songbirds who are just getting the hang of migration.
I guess it's true what they say. B. There's strength in numbers, even in the bird world. Van Doren and his team are eager to use machine learning and audio sensors to learn more about what specific kind of information birds are sharing. They hope to follow individual birds through their journeys using wearable microphones to help disentangle the functions of these vocalizations and social connections.
Hey David, have you heard the news? OpenAI's ChatGPT web search feature is now available for everyone, even those without an account.
Oh, really, B? That's exciting. So what exactly is this ChatGPT web search feature?
Well, it's a search function that's integrated directly into OpenAI's ChatGPT AI chatbot. Users simply click the search button to use it, and ChatGPT answers their query in a typical conversational AI chatbot fashion. But the cool thing is, it also includes relevant information from the internet, including photos and links citing where it sourced its information.
Wow, that sounds really useful. So when did this feature launch?
It launched in late October last year, but it was only available to paying ChatGPT subscribers at first. Then in December, it was rolled out to all users who were already logged into an account. But now, anyone can use it without an account.
That's great news for people who want to try it out without committing to creating an account. But how does it compare to other search engines like Google?
Well, according to a recent report from search engine optimization company SEMrush, while Google still has billions more search users than ChatGPT, OpenAI's chatbot product was starting to send more and more search traffic to third-party websites. It will be interesting to see how users change their online search habits as new options, like ChatGPT search, become more widely available.
Yeah, it definitely seems like AI technology is becoming more integrated into our daily lives. It's exciting to see how it will continue to evolve and shape the way we interact with the internet.
In our next story, reported by Julie Clover for Mac Rumors, Disney Plus lost 700,000 subscribers worldwide in recent months.
Ouch, that's not good for the streaming service. But why the drop in subscribers, B?
Well, David, Disney Plus prices increased in the fall, with the ad-supported plan going from $7.99 to $9.99 and the ad-free plan going from $13.99 to $15.99.
Ah, I see. And it looks like Disney also started cracking down on password sharing in September. What's the deal with that?
Disney introduced a paid sharing plan in the United States, Canada, and parts of Europe. The system restricts account usage to members of a single household ending support for use across multiple households unless the primary subscriber pays an additional fee.
Yikes, that's a bummer for all the freeloaders out there. But it's not all bad news for Disney, right?
That's right, David. While Disney Plus subscriptions were down, Hulu gained 1.6 million subscribers during the quarter, reaching 53.6 million total paid subscribers. And Disney's overall revenue grew 4.8% during the quarter, largely thanks to Moana 2, which earned more than $1 billion in theaters.
Wow, Moana 2 must have been a real hit. But what about the future of Disney Plus, B?
Disney expects Disney Plus subscriptions to see another decline in the second quarter of 2025. But Disney CEO Bob Iger said during an earnings call that the subscriber churn was not as bad as expected. In our next story, reported by Hacker News for Snyder.substack.com, we have a wild scenario to imagine. What if a group of young men, dressed in red and black armored costumes, stormed government buildings in Washington, D.C., giving Nazi salutes and calling out slogans like "All power to Supreme Leader Skibidi Hitler"? Historically, that's what coups looked like. But these days, power is more digital than physical. And that's where our story takes a turn.
That's right, B. Instead of storming buildings, what if these men went from government office to government office, dressed in civilian clothes and armed only with zip drives? They gain access to the basic computer systems of the federal government and grant their supreme leader access to information and the power to start and stop all government payments. That coup is in fact happening right now, according to our story.
And who is this supreme leader, you ask? None other than Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. Musk and his followers are seizing power that they have no right to, and it's all illegal. By gaining data about us all, Musk is trampling on any notion of privacy and dignity, as well as on the explicit and implicit agreements made with our government when we pay our taxes or our student loans.
But it's not just about privacy, B. By gaining the ability to stop payments by the Department of the Treasury, Musk would also make democracy meaningless. We vote for representatives in Congress who pass laws that determine how our tax money is spent. If Musk has the power to halt this process at the level of payment, he can make laws meaningless, which means in turn that Congress is meaningless, and our votes are meaningless, as is our citizenship.
It's a scary thought, David. Resistance to the coup is the defense of the human against the digital and the democratic against the oligarchic. If Musk controls these digital systems, Republican elected officials will be just as helpless as Democratic ones. The institutions that they voted to create can also be deleted, as Musk puts it. President Trump, for that matter, will also perform at Musk's pleasure. There is not much he can do without the use of the federal government's computers.
And the coup isn't just against our democratic republic, it's against us as possessors of human rights and dignities. Each hour this goes unrecognized makes the success of the coup more likely. It's important that we all stay informed and vigilant about the digital threats to our democracy.
David, have you ever heard of blood-powered toes before?
Well, researchers discovered that wandering salamanders can rapidly fill, trap, and drain the blood in their toe tips to optimize attachment, detachment, and general locomotion through their arboreal environment.
Exactly. And the research not only uncovers a previously unknown physiological mechanism in salamanders, but it also has implications for bio-inspired design. Insights into salamander toe mechanics could ultimately inform the development of adhesives, prosthetics, and even robotic appendages.
Definitely. And the lead author of the study, Christian Brown, says that gecko-inspired adhesives already allow surfaces to be reused without losing stickiness. He thinks that understanding salamander toes could lead to similar breakthroughs in attachment technologies.
Right. Brown's interest in the topic traces back to an unexpected observation during the filming of the documentary, The Americas. While assisting on set as the resident salamander expert, he noticed something strange. Blood was rushing into the small creature's translucent toe tips moments before they took a step.
Yeah, and through high-resolution video trials and corroborating analysis, Brown and his colleagues uncovered that wandering salamanders can finely control and regulate blood flow to each side of their toe tips. This allows them to adjust pressure asymmetrically, improving grip on irregular surfaces like tree bark.
Exactly. This dexterity is crucial for navigating the uneven and slippery surfaces of the redwood canopy, and for sticking safe landings when parachuting between branches. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm Beatrix Kiddo, your host and AI guide to the daily news. We hope you found today's topics informative and thought-provoking. Remember to always fact-check AI-based news summaries before sharing. On this day in history, in 1952, Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the throne following the death of her father, King George VI. Join us again tomorrow for more news, insights, and analysis. Don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Have a great day.